Reading and reviewing indie books has become a passion of mine over many years and has helped me get through the many challenges that life can present. To me, there is nothing better than the escapism, the immersion, and even the magic that reading can be. As an indie author myself, I know the challenges and difficulties of finding book reviews, and so just like my dedication to writing, here I am doing my best to support words by fellow authors. Welcome to Talking Indie Books with Lee Hall, an opportunity for me to showcase some wonderful indie books I've been reading. Before this episode of Talking Indie Books begins, allow me to introduce to you the magical fantasy series known as The Tree Guardians by Shea Gibson. The Tree Guardians 2-book series is about 5 guardians who will be chosen for their strength, cunning, determination, empathy, and heart. What they got were 5 of the most unique individuals who were all of that in the guise of misfits. Merlin helped them all. The Tree Guardians series by Shea Gibson is out now. The road to reviewing indie books continues, and for this episode I shall be covering one of my most recent reads, which is in the genre of dystopian sci-fi. This title is also a companion to another indie book I read and reviewed back in 2022, and featured on the second part of my Indie April special episodes. Of course, I'm talking about Core Haven by Drew Faraday, who is back to give readers much more immersive insight into the world already established in that first book, Pearl Fields and the Oregon Meltdown. After reading both, I'm happy to say they are both interchangeable, which means they can kind of be read in any order. This time around, the narration setup has switched and allows for a lot more expression in terms of description and overall flow of the writing. Drew Faraday delivers a reading experience that represents a journey full of stakes, peril, imagination, as well as some character development. This time around, the narration setup has switched and allows for a lot more expression in terms of description and the overall flow of the writing. In a world where a sickness known as the M virus has begun to ravage society, and turn the setting of Oregon towards dystopian chaos, the story focuses on one family who have their home obliterated in the disruption. Our hero and main character, the young Nate, soon becomes split from his family while they're heading towards an apparent safe haven. He must adapt quickly and embark on a journey within the journey in order to find survival, and along the way we'll meet some colourful characters who help, hinder, and affect each moment spent on that path. The concept of the M virus and how it affects people is more fleshed out in this book, and Nate's journey brings readers closer to the concepts established in the first book. For anyone who does enjoy dystopian tales where the origins of chaos are playing out, then this is the one for you. And so, to quote my recent review, armed with simply a knife, Nate must navigate the perils of travelling for miles on foot and boat while trying to avoid the various threats. Who he comes across varies, from the good guys to simple swindlers who are on the take, to even a fun interaction with a character established in Faraday's first novel. There are plenty of messages within about the kindness of strangers, humanity, and doing the best to help others. That is until somebody blows up the bridge ahead. But even the bad events in the story work in delivering a great reading experience, and there's always another path one can take when it comes to survival. And so, my favourite quote from Core Haven was this. He peered through a cluster of bullet holes in the bottom of a flatboat turned onto its side. Down the dark, desolate road dotted with gutted houses and level trees, a dim solar lamppost cast an eerie halo in the steady rain. Debris and wrecked cars littered the ground, as if a tornado had ripped through. A gust of wind carrying a hint of burned wood shook the boat, and a nearby gate screeched closed. Distant gunfire clattered, then died down. Crickets and frogs resumed their usual serenade. My rating for Core Haven was 5 stars, and you can find my written review linked below. And so, that wraps up this episode of Talking Indie Books with Lee Hall. Indie authors are very much like small businesses and rely on the kind support of others to find more readers, so any support you can give an indie author will be very much appreciated. And talking of support, if you'd like to see video content like this before anyone else, then be sure to check out my Patreon, which is stacked with content for authors and readers. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this journey, and of course, if you're reading something right now, remember to leave a review. Peace out, rock and roll, and reading indie books.